Going country with Dean Kirk as we buzz up another record on my fantasy playlist of May the 8th. Yeah, May the 8th, 2022. Debuting at number 37. The first of three country records on my fantasy playlist. And this record, it is worthy. It is certainly worthy of the Grand Ole Opry. If you think traditional country music is dead, it's not. But you got to give this song a listen to. And to discover this song, saw the video to this song on CMT last summer, and I think even though it's not a so-called modern-sounding country record per se, this is more of a traditional country, a roots country record. And I guess it's kind of hard to fit it into a format of a country station, which I hate to say. I mean, well, I'll get into all that in just a minute. I'm running ahead of myself again. Sierra Ferrell with In Dreams debuting at number 37. I love the woods, love hanging out in the woods. And the video to this song is bucolic, it's rustic, got scenes of the woods and inside a house or a log cabin or whatever. And it's just got that country, it's all country, baby. 100% country proof all the way. This record right here, In Dreams by Sierra Ferrell. But the first thing that drew me to this record, parts of the melody and parts of the verse, not all of it, but some of it, just enough, was very nostalgic for me. It reminded me, the melody reminded me a little bit of Terry Stafford's Suspicions back in the spring of 1964. A big hit for him, although that song was originally done by Elvis a couple of years before. But it reminded me of that, which was one of the things that drew me to this record, big time. But 60s nostalgia aside, make no mistake about it, it's a traditional country record. It's just the thing about Sierra Ferrell. I did some research on her. Boy, I was amazed. Now you would think if you watch this video, I haven't heard her new album. She's got an album. It's with Rounder Records. The album is called. Excuse me. Let me catch my breath and let me get my voice back. The album is called Long Time Coming. Debut album on Rounder Records, 12 tracks on this album, and I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? You would think, if you just listened to this song, In Dreams, and I thought, okay, she probably picked up the banjo, she probably picked up the guitar when she was very young, learned how to spend hours sitting on the front porch playing the guitar, and wanting to be the next Patsy Cline or Emmylou Harris, or no, was not like that at all. Even though she's from West Virginia, one of the epicenters of bluegrass, her first loves, well, first off, when she was very young, she could memorize TV themes. She memorized TV themes. She memorized commercials. She would sing along with commercials and TV things when she was very, very young. And one of the big impacts was those Mentos commercials. She can still recite some of those to this day. Later on, though, not country, not bluegrass. No, what she got into? Grunge, heavy metal. Big fan of Pearl Jam, Nirvana. Type O negative, big metal fan. When she got into her early 20s, she left Charleston, West Virginia. She went west. She went out on the road. She lived out of her car. She met all sorts of people playing guitar on the streets, nomads, playing for voluntary donations, what you'd call busking. And she was inspired. She was really enchanted by this. And she started getting into swing music and then bluegrass. She went to New Orleans and she played the old style, the old school string music, but she sponged up some of that big, easy influences of jazz and calypso. She's a very eclectic artist. Her musical DNA turned out to be much more complex than I had expected just from that one song, which I must confess. But that's what, when you do research on these people, you find out just how complex they really are. It's just not, they're not one-dimensional. I don't think I know a soul on this planet who's one-dimensional. But anyway, she spent some time in New Orleans. She went to Nashville. She played the clubs in Nashville. She played the local clubs. Boy, she made a splash. She was killing those shows. Live, dynamic live shows. Important people took notice. Big people took notice. Got a deal, a 3-album deal with Rounder Records, and the first album, long time coming, off the record label that she signed up with. And now keep in mind, when she was in New Orleans, she was busking. She was playing. In New Orleans and in Nashville, she was playing the clubs. And now she's got this big record deal. Let me read you a few of the lyrics. She's got a fantastic voice. And the guitar strumming. I love the guitar strumming. Again, a little bit of it reminds me a little bit of Suspicions by Terry Stafford, which is sort of a pastoral, bucolic sounding record in its own right. But this is worthy. I think I've already mentioned this. This is definitely worthy of the Grand Ole Opry. I can see her playing this at the Grand Ole Opry, maybe wearing sort of like a cowboy hat and skirt and, you know, cowboy shirt or whatever, frills. I mean, she's classic. Let me read you a few of the lyrics. Quote, "Won't you sit down? You know I love you, honey, and you look so tired." Wistful lyrics. But then she waxes philosophical. I know it's hard how we're thrown into this life. Then one day we must die." Then she goes on, we're getting even more sort of philosophical. But the river will flow on, even after we're all gone. That river will flow on. Take me with you now before I'm one. And she's kind of pining over this guy. It's really nice the way she does it too in the video. It's just it's sort of one of those. It's just innocuous, sort of one of these innocuous situations in a way. Dadgummit, I ran out of things to say about this record. It's the formats, the radio formats for this record. I highly recommend it. I really do. If you like that traditional country music, if you think it's just dead and gone, give this song a listen to. Now, I haven't heard the whole album, and I understand, from what I understand, she combines elements of jazz and calypso and bluegrass into her musical, I can't think of the word right now, musical salad or whatever you want to call it. The music formats for this record, I want to say country. But some music directors may have a hard time fitting a traditional sounding country record like this, or bluegrass, which smacks a little bit of bluegrass, and play it with a so-called modern country record. But wouldn't it be nice, though, if you listen to a country record, country radio station, all the new stuff, you hear the modern new stuff, and I'm not knocking that at all. Oh no, as a matter of fact, I got 2 country songs coming in on the countdown later on, 2 others. But wouldn't it be nice to hear, you know, the modern country songs along with the traditional sounding country records, the new country records, new artists, and she's very talented. There's no doubt about it. Got a fine voice, a 5-star voice. Oh, by the way, I think I forgot to say quote unquote when I finished reading the lyrics. I apologize for that. But there's a part when she transitions effortlessly from singing the lyrics into yodeling, and you hear that wistfulness, the yearning, the longing. Bring it to me. And it's just, woo, I love that part, man. It just brings chills. It just kind of brings chills to my spine, man. It's just, it's fantastic, man. She's hitting that amplitude. She's going on that amplitude. She's scaling it. Well, here's the deal. Country, if it were me, say an adult contemporary station or an adult alternative station, if there was any way I can get away with it, any way I can get away with it, I would put this into the rotation. Start light rotation, then see if it picks up, go to medium, and then, boy, it'd be nice having heavy rotation. But that's in my fantasy world, does this fantasy playlist. And this is a pop fantasy playlist. There's rock and roll, there's BPMs, there's pop music. And I mean, well, that's why I call it a fantasy playlist. It's obviously a fantasy playlist. But anyway, Sierra Ferrell and Dreams, name of the song. The album is Long Time Coming. And the song debuts at number 37 on my fantasy playlist of May the 8th, 2022. It is a buzzworthy record. Let's buzz this thing up. Dean Kirk signing off. Take care.